Hello. I'm very worried about my camera. I think I need to check the cord. I'm going to swap a cord out, and if it pops off, I'm going to come right back, okay? So hang on a second. Okay, well, I'm gonna give it a second to see if it will work. 1 second. All right. Well, I'm desperately hoping that my camera will not die. We'll see. I think it's charging, so we'll go with that. We'll just kind of see what happens. It was supposed to have already been charged. Okay, well, I'm guessing you can hear me. So give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. And I think it's going. So thanks, Kristen. Thanks. I'm really hoping my camera is charging. I think it's charging, but oh my goodness. Hi, Paula. Nice to see you. Well, in that case, see, I think my camera just died. I may have a web-only front cam for a few minutes. Give it a go. Oh, you gotta love technology. Just gotta love it. So, on that note, let me do this. I'm gonna spend a minute talking anyway and showing you guys some stuff so it'll actually work out. I'm gonna let this charge on a different charger. Let me plug it in really fast. And I'll pop this back over here. And I think once it's on a better charger, that it'll be okay. All right, well, we're gonna go with that for a few minutes. Hey, Rachel. As luck would have it, my camera is dying. So I'm probably gonna keep it a little shorter than usual. I'm gonna give my camera a minute to charge on the other charger. So it should have been charged. Okay, so let me just share with you what I'm doing today. I'm basically doing Father's Day gifts. I needed to do them anyway. I thought this would be a great reason to go live. So if you haven't already, just kind of a shameless plug, 2 things. If you're someone who makes cards, and I know not everybody does, but I made these 2 cards this week, and I actually filmed this one, and I have a link down in the description, so you can actually go back and watch this entire card video. So I'll just you know, you could do this on the Cricut even. You could draw it out. You could use print and cut. So this is a stencil and die from Waffle Flower. It was so fun. I really enjoyed it. But also, I have a video with a giveaway that is, the giveaway is ending this week. I believe it is the 17th at midnight. But it's from Altenew. They sent over some things for me to play with. If you haven't watched it and you're thinking about doing card making stuff, or you like Altenew, you already know who they are, or you want to check them out, shameless plug. I made a card making video with some products that they sent over. And I did a thank you card. I did a couple of Christmas cards. And then I even did a birthday card and a birthday tag. So super fun. But I wanted to tell you about it because there's a giveaway, and all the details are in the video at the end. And that way you wouldn't miss out if you're someone who is interested in that. So there's that. Okay, well, let's go ahead and just keep going. I'm going to periodically check the battery. I think it is charging, so it'll just be a couple minutes. So my first craft that I wanted to do is something that I just kind of on a whim came up with yesterday. So I use these adhesive magnetic sheets, and I've already cut it down into these little squares. They're about 2 6/8, a little bit more than 2 1/4. I'm sorry, 1 1/4. So I have these 2 by 2 little flat canvases, and I got these from Micheals. And what I thought would be so fun, I have no idea where this came from yesterday in my brain, but I'm going to turn these into magnets. And my husband is such a sports fanatic, so I just pulled some logos off of the internet. So we have the Utah Mammoths, we have the Seattle Mariners, which we're going to our Seattle trip soon. I have the Seattle Seahawks, and then I have our hometown boys, the Houston Astros. So this is printable vinyl, right? I'm sorry, iron-on. So printable iron-on. And what I thought I would do is take these designs. I made 2 of each just in case I messed up, but I'm just pulling the vinyl off of the sheet, and I just printed this on my desktop, my little computer over here, just my little regular computer, and I let it dry. That was the big thing. And so what I thought I would do today is I'm just going to pull these off, and I'm going to place them on top. So when I pull them off, they're very, very thin, almost like rice paper, if you know what rice paper is. But then I thought, okay, I will put them on top of these little magnets, and I need to get this one straight, but essentially they're going to look like this. Isn't that cute? I'm so excited about this. So I'm going to make one here. I'm just centering it up right now. Okay. So I have it all centered, and then I'm going to, I have my little Easy Press Mini right here. And then I have one of these little Teflon sheets. If you don't have one of these, they're really great. I just got it at the Dollar Tree. So it's $1 for a ginormous roll. It's like by the foil and stuff. And I just trimmed it down. So I have a big one, like a huge 12 by 12 size. And then I have a couple of smaller pieces. And I'm going to lay that on top. And I do need to let my Easy Press kind of cool down just for a minute, because it's rather hot. I was ironing a little bag for myself later. So that's something that we're going to do here in just a second. And then I'll show you how I'm going to do like the magnet piece on the back. This is just that flat canvas from, you know, the arts and crafts store. So I'm going to peel off this adhesive carrier sheet. I get these off of Amazon. They're just big sheets of magnetic like really, it's just a magnetic sheet. And I use this to make magnets all the time. But I'm essentially going to take the backing like this, and I'm just going to stick it on the back. And then you could even grab your brayer and just kind of brayer down over it. I don't know that it would make a difference if you didn't. Okay, but now I have this. This is now a magnet, and he loves magnets. So how fun is this? Easy, cheap, like the magnet paper. Well, the magnetic paper is a little, depending on who you buy it from on Amazon, it can be a little pricey, but ultimately super, super easy, super quick. This is a great craft to do with kids because you could have them do artwork and you could take a picture of it and upload it to Cricut Design Space. And then you could print it out on printable vinyl and you could put it on a canvas. So then you have magnet-sized children's artwork, which is way better than the ginormous file box or a bunch of papers everywhere. And I have a few that my daughter has done, and you know, she's 14, so there's that. But I have a few that she's done, and I think I'm gonna go and make some magnets with some of her artwork. And then that's a great way to preserve it. Okay, so here's my magnet side, and here's my logo side. And I'm gonna go ahead, and I know you can't see it, but I'm gonna take my Easy Press Mini. I think it's cooled off a little bit, and I'm just gonna go over it a little bit. It's just iron-on vinyl. I only had the one for light fabrics. I didn't have the one for dark fabrics. So I'm gonna let that cool for a second. And I may go and get the lighter fabric one, but this is what it looks like now. I don't know if you can see that. I feel like the H is not as bright white as it was. I do have the other one. I could lay it on top of there and that'd be fine. They're the same size. So I may do that just to brighten it up a little bit, but that's what they look like. How fun is that? And now I have a magnet. This is how I always test my magnets. Even though I have a pile of magnetic paper and I use it for so many things, I always test it to make sure the magnetic paper is still gonna work. I don't know why. Maybe I think it's gonna lose its magneticness. I don't know, but anyway, there's that one. That's super cute. I'm really excited about that. And then, okay, I'm gonna let that continue to kind of cool off a little bit. So, I know. Kristen, just think, like the boys could make all kinds of artwork. You could do print and cut, and then you could give it to the grandparents or your husband or teachers or whoever. So we'll do a non-heat activity real quick because I'm letting this cool off a little bit more. And then I'm gonna check my camera again super fast. Oh yeah, it's almost charged, guys. Like after this one craft right here, I'm gonna pop the, I'll pop the line into the computer and it will take me a second to pop it back up and then we'll be back in business. And what's even worse is I had just checked it last night, but okay. So I've been digging around in my stash trying to find stuff to do for crafting without buying crafting stuff, but I still keep buying crafting stuff. But then I ran across these aluminum sheets by Cricut, and I don't even know if they sell them anymore, but they say they're compatible with infusible ink. And I've been seeing this all over the internet, everywhere for Father's Day, these big, huge framed posters. And this is what it looks like. So what I did is I went on to a website and I have it. In fact, I think I'll link it down in the description. I don't think I linked it. But what I did is I looked up my siblings and I'm the oldest of 5. I looked up all of our birthdays. And this is what the moon looked like on the day we were born. And because it's like a calendar, you literally can just put any date you want, any date at all. And again, I'm old, so I mean, it goes way back, but it gets your lunar phase. And how cool is that? So I found this image in Canva right here. And then I typed the words and I put, we love you to the moon and back. We are a blended family, but my sister, I mean, I've known her since she was a baby. So, well, one of my sisters. So I don't consider her like a half sister or a stepsister or anything. I mean, she is my sister. But anyway, you know, she came into our lives after she was born. So in the stuff online, it says, you know, the day you became our dad. And it's so pretty. Just, I love it. So I just did this. We love you to the moon and back. That covers all the bases. So I've got me, my brother, my sister, my younger sister, and then my little baby brother. And yesterday I was at Target. And look, I found a couple of these. So I'm going to frame this inside here. And I think because this is aluminum, I might even take the glass out. I don't think I even need the glass, but it worked so well that I did one for my husband. So this is the one for my daughter. This is a first quarter moon right here. And that's just great. I love it. She liked it. She thought it was great. This is, I believe, a waxing gibbous. That's these two here. And that's a waxing crescent. And these two are a waning crescent. So I used to teach a little bit of science back in the day, and it was just lovely. So now that I've chatted your ear off, okay, I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm going to change that cord out. But I thought it would be so neat to take this frame. I got them at Target because it's 5x7. Look how good that just fits right in there. And then there's that. Isn't? I mean, this was made for that. They had all kinds of stuff at Target. And he can put this on the wall. It does have, you know, a hanger on the back. He could do a hanger on the back. He could do, just put it on the table. But look at that. I just think that's so pretty. Oops, sorry. I'm probably making you seasick, but I'm trying not to get the glare. Okay, let me do the other one really quick. That one's for my husband. And you'll have to tell me. Okay, so Father's Day. Oh, hey, Hannah. How are you? Are you enjoying summer like me? Never enough summer. And I would say if you can't find aluminum sheets, the Cricut aluminum sheets for the infusible ink, you could do it on some other surface and then still put it in a frame. Or they even have, slates now. I know Micheals and Hobby Lobby, they have these big slates and you just sublimate on top of that or use your infusible ink. But that's the dad one. I just put that back together. And then my husband's is going to be portrait. I'm being so lazy. I wish we were lazy. We have to go get passports on Monday. My daughter is getting a root canal on Monday. We were talking about our big whirlwind trip we're taking in August, right before school starts. And then she has sports, and we start driver's ed in 2 weeks. Let's just say Mom is a little stressed. I'm looking forward to a little bit of relaxation. So, what is everybody doing for Father's Day? Like, Are you doing something special? Are you making something special? Taking them out to eat? Like, what are we doing for dads? I don't know. I might take my husband out to eat. But okay, here is the one for my husband. Sorry about the glare. So I just love it. Oh, y'all, this is great. And I was a little worried that the green of the picture, because I put the moons on top of the picture, and they looked a lot whiter or grayish online, you know, on my computer screen. But I thought about putting something on the wood, but I just love these. They're so fun. Okay, I'm gonna have to investigate aluminum sheets because I think I want some more of these. Can you imagine the Christmas presents, Mother's Day, birthdays for grandparents? Like, really? We could just go to town. Okay, I'm gonna grab the plug for the camera and I'm gonna plug it back in to the live feed. So hang tight 1 second. And we're gonna see about getting this redone. Turn that back on. Oh yeah, light's green now. Isn't that weird? Like, you're stuck and then all of a sudden it's not charged. I don't get that. But my phone does that too. Like, it'll be charged and then all of a sudden there's like 20%. So, all right, we are back in business. Sorry that we're all tilted. Perfect. Okay, good deal. Now we're back in business. I'm so happy. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna show you one more of the magnets because I didn't get to show you overhead wise, and that was just really weird. So again, these are 2x2 magnets, or 2x2 flat canvases. They're not the stretched ones. The stretched ones look like they're on a frame. And then I'm just gonna peel this off. So I had already cut this down and I'm just placing it on the back. And then you can use a brayer or not use a brayer. And then I'm gonna bring, well, I have this here. I'm just gonna use this. Okay, I think this is good. Let's do the mammoths. It's black with a black. This was the only one I could not get rounded because it was just weird. I feel like there's something on that one. Let me grab this one. I like the printable vinyl and I always forget that I have it. How many of you have used printable vinyl? I always forget that I have it. And I'm sorry, printable iron-on vinyl. I use printable vinyl all the time. Ooh, tacos. What are lingua tacos? Is that like a place? Grilling some steaks, low key. Love it. Okay, let's give this another try. I don't need to. Well, I was gonna say, what has everybody done fun this summer? But it sounds like you guys are just enjoying the summer and chilling. Nice. We are going to the movies tonight. We're gonna go see Disclosure Day. It has Emily Blunt in it. I think it's some kind of like, I wanna say it's like sci-fi alien-esque, but I'm not sure. I don't remember all of the things, so, okay. So then we have our little Utah mammoths there. Nice. And then I just have these other two, and I'll do those later because, you know, we've still got a whole bunch of crafts to do, so that's a thing. 2 quick and easy crafts. Well, okay, the aluminum, it took me a while to design it in Canva, but I thought it was really relatively easy. Once I got the background and then the moons, I decided to put all the, you know, writing on, and I actually did it on glass first. I have a sublimation glass thing from Hobby Lobby, and our names and stuff was like really, really small, and you really couldn't see it very well, but it did come out beautiful, but the names were just really too tiny, so that's why I redid it. But okay, so we did 2 framed projects, 1 for each, dad and husband, and then I've got some magnets coming for husband. So my dad is a woodworker, and he does amazing work. In fact, he just got done making these beautiful Adirondack by hand rocker chairs, and this doctor, you know, said, hey, I really want one. And I mean, it takes my dad days to make one, probably 2 or 3, 4 days if he just did that. And of course the wood is really expensive. It's a lot of wood and stuff, but the doc was like, no problem, I'm gonna pay for the supplies and I'll pay you for your time. So he just sold his second rocker to that doctor. But anyway, I said all that to say woodworking. So I have some journals, and I saw these on Etsy, so I cannot take credit. This one, it says knower of stuff and fixer of things, and I thought that was really funny. I was thinking about putting it on a mug, but then I decided to put it on here, and I'll look and see if that's even here in a second. But knower of stuff, fixer of things. And then this is the one I saw on Etsy, and I thought, wow. So it's a brown leather book on Etsy, and they did this. It's called, it just says The Ideas of a Legendary Woodworker. And so I have that one. Isn't that awesome? Convergence Day. I haven't heard of that one. I mean, I just bought the tickets like 10 minutes ago. I kept forgetting the name of it, but be that as it may, we're going to the movies tonight. I'm hoping I don't have to cook. And then this one it already had plans, projects, and possibilities. So this was a triple pack at Target, kind of over by all of their greeting cards and stuff like that. And it came with this little jute string to tie them all up. So they were like this when I saw them, and I thought, oh. So I took it apart, and the rest were blank, and I thought, perfect, have a Cricut. I can Cricut all the things. So on this one, it's white. It's already kind of set. So I just thought his initials down here in the corner would be great. Does that look like it's lined up? Maybe it comes down a little bit over here. So anyway, I started getting more and more ideas. The more stuff I started to plan for Father's Day, the more ideas I started coming up with. I don't know about y'all, but yeah. So he constantly has, you know, those little composition books like kids use at school, you know, the black ones with the mottled black and white. So he has stuff like that, and they're everywhere. You can't ever have enough notebooks. I can't have enough notebooks. So, okay, I'm gonna let that cool for a second. That's gonna look great. And then this one, I don't think it's lined up correctly. I'm just using my T ruler here. It probably needs to come, actually, it's level. Can you believe that? Okay, but is it, it's about 1.5 that way. Okay, y'all, this is crazy. It's centered this way, woodworker to woodworker, like over here, 1.5 centimeters. This is level already. I trifecta. Okay, so we got 4 centimeters and roughly 4 centimeters. I could not have planned that better if I tried to plan that better. That's insane. Okay, I'm gonna go buy a lottery ticket. If I didn't live so far from Vegas, I would just drive to Vegas, but I'm gonna go buy a lottery ticket because that was way too awesome. Okay, that's kind of, these are warm. I don't think these take very much heat at all. Now this one I know is level because I leveled it on those lines, but let's see. We've got 2.5 that way, and about 2 there. I could move it over. Okay, vote. Vote. Should I move it over 1/2 centimeter, or should I just call it good? Because he is a woodworker, and he maybe I move it over to this blue line or something, just a smidge, because I don't know that he would measure it, but he's funny though. So he's a doctor by trade, and I'll go over and I'll help him in his wood shop, and I'm a math teacher, and he does better math in his head. Like, we're talking fractions, like microscopic fractions, like 16ths and 8ths, and way better than I do. He does it in his head in like seconds. And I'm like, Dad, I need to write it down. And then I get, but you're a math teacher. So maybe he would measure. I don't know. I thought about making him a shirt or a, like, I bought some mugs, you know, those glass beer steins, the clear ones. And I bought one, and I was gonna etch on it, but I might just do like his monogram or something. My daughter got one for my husband, and it says, it's not a dad bod, it's a father figure. Isn't that hilarious? It's not a dad bod, it's a father figure. So that's what she has for Dad. Well, not my dad, for my husband, her dad. Okay, so I'm gonna pull, or I'm gonna see. I can already tell the isn't gonna stick. Okay, this needs more heat. Maybe I'll just go direct. Maybe I didn't put enough pressure on it. Lingua tacos are beef tongue. All right, I'm not even sure what to say. Maybe that's good. I've never had beef tongue. I don't know. I am so plain Jane. Like, I don't experiment with anything. My my friends all like to go to like Thai food and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, no, not so much. I don't even like I don't even like buffalo wings, y'all. Like the sauce and stuff. No, I'm more of a Southern fried chicken. Yes. Chicken fried steak, chicken fried chicken. I just don't like wings. Who likes wings out there? Am I the only one that doesn't like wings? Because my husband was making fun of me yesterday. He said he didn't understand how that I didn't like wings. All right, looks like we're still doing good.
Okay. Oh, look at that. All but those things. Now I have to fix that. Isn't that lovely? That happens. Has that ever happened to you guys? Where you go to pull it off and then you're like, oh no. Okay. Well, we'll do this little spot. That's why I like this mini, because I can just spot that one. Maybe I pulled it off too soon and too aggressive. Okay, we'll let that sit for a minute. I think this one's done. Perfect. Love that. Okay, now to try this one. Let's try it from the bottom this time. And I'm gonna go slower. Yeah, see, right there. Okay, so this is gonna require a little more work than I planned, but that's okay. It's also a weird texture. It's not leather and not linen. It's kind of, and it's not plastic. I wouldn't say it's plastic, but it's just this weird, oh man. That probably happened when I pulled it all up. Yeah, I love my mini. Have you ever like ironed a shirt that you're gonna wear in a few minutes with your mini? I've done that. It was handy. Oh, hey, how are you? I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, well, so I did my first craft, I did it in the air because my camera was dying and I had charged it. So there's that. Okay, this HTV is being a stinker today. We're doing Father's Day gifts. And hopefully these work. Okay, I'll have to deal with that piece there. And that piece there. So we just got a little bit more. So yesterday I went into Hobby Lobby for a shirt, one shirt, navy, a navy shirt. Well, actually 3. My daughter likes that shirt and I may have worn it on a previous live. It says Summer Vibes. Anywho, she wanted me to make her and her friends matching shirts, and she wanted that particular SVG. Ah, there we go. Apparently it wanted to have a like a warm peel. Okay, so there's this one. Okay, it kind of looks like it has some splatter on it, but it's kind of interesting. It almost looks like the Matrix back there. Isn't that weird that it did that? But it's kind of like this pixel. Isn't that crazy? So this one's good, that one's good. All right, let's see if Fixer of Things, or Fixer of Things, knower of things, and knower of stuff, Fixer of Things. Ah, there we go. Yay, look at that. Okay, so these are ready to go. And then they would just get this back on here. Yay. Oh, I wanted to go underneath. So anyway, back to Hobby Lobby. Sorry, I got distracted. We went for like 3 shirts for her friends, and then I walked out with lots of stuff. Totally did not plan on getting all these things, but did I? Yes. Did I enjoy it myself? Absolutely. So, but I need to keep working on my craft stash. I've been cleaning everything out and purging, so I know kind of where everything is now. Okay, and then we'll just snip off a little. Ta-da! Okay, so we got 2 gifts for Dad and 2 gifts for the husband. Actually, I have another gift for the husband. So I have to laugh. Y'all, he is so funny. He makes me laugh so hard. Let me move my easy press. So I made this the other week, and this is for me to like swatch out my colors, like when I'm doing things. And so I had started swatching out all the colors for the Father's Day card I showed y'all at the beginning. And then I have this one to put in there. Like I have the colors written down and stuff. But anyway, he was so impressed with it. He was like, oh, I want a little notebook. And I was like, what would you use a little notebook for, right? And so, okay, now my internet is acting really weird. That was super weird. I'm wondering if my kids are like streaming their video games. Boy, I sure hope not. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Whew. Yeah, so we have 2 modems in our house. One is like the regular one, and then we have a second one. And the kids in their video games, you know, video games take up so much. Anyway, I just quickly swapped over to that really fast because I'm wondering if they're both streaming their video games. That way you guys don't have to have any buffering. Anyway, back to the little notebook. So I'm gonna make him a little notebook, but it's for his sports. So he does sports cards. In fact, he's getting to the part where he really wants to like go do card shows, not just attend them, but actually go and be a vendor. So, we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I told him, he was so impressed with the little book that I said, well, why don't I make you one? He goes, oh, you can do that? And I'm like, yeah, I can do almost anything. And then he's like, oh, can you do a sports one? So I just, again, got the Astros off of the internet. And so this is going to be our cover. And then I have a patterned paper on the back. Okay, this is, and I have a lot of this kind of ready to go so you could just see the end product and not have to sit here all day looking at this. But I did want to show you how it works. So essentially, I'll show you this little mini cinch here in a second. And I did a video of this a couple of weeks ago, but I've already punched all the holes in the paper. And I just cut this down to 4x6. Same thing with this backer. So this was the back of the paper pad. And then this is 110-pound cardstock. I just printed out a pattern and then I put it on here with adhesive tape. And then I've used my bone folder and I've already scored it and I have it ready to go. So this is gonna be closed up, and then on top of that, we're gonna put this. This is just cardstock, and I have a huge piece of the double-sided adhesive tape that I use when I'm making my foam tape for my cards. But I thought that that would be great to use for sealing this up. So I'm just going to pull that off, and then I'm going to grab a little bit of washi to hold these flaps down, but I'm going to seal it with that cardstock. Yeah, because see, it's already wanting to come up a little bit. But I need it to stick long enough for me to get this backer on. So I'm just gonna do this. Oh, hey, Teresa. We are so glad you're here. You've missed all the drama. My camera decided to empty its battery, so we had to just do webcam only, front view. And then I had to switch wire, you know, the Wi-Fi's, but I'll show all the stuff at the end because I still did a few crafts and it worked pretty good. All right, these bottom ones, they're not cooperating. I think it's because they're small. That's okay. We're about to put it together anyway. So I just, I always do my paper pad. I always cover it with something if I'm going to use the chipboard, and I make it bigger like this. This end, it wasn't big enough. And then I cut the corners so that I can kind of basically miter them. And then we're going to stick this down. Maybe I'll do 2 at a time. Okay, so there'll be that. And then get that in there. And that. And it's a little off, but again, this is the back, and he isn't gonna care. So if I really wanted to, I could pull that up and shift it over, but I'm not gonna do that. So this is the back side, like this. And what I love about this little machine is that it will punch through all of that. And then this is gonna be the front. Now this is just 110-pound cardstock, and I printed the emblem on it. This is holographic laminating sheet like you would have if you were making stickers. And I thought this would be a great way to protect the front of this. So I'm just going to line all this up. Is it a little bit bigger? Barely. I think it's a little bit bigger than it needs to be. That's okay. We'll cut that down. So side to side, it's just slightly bigger. I could trim that with my little craft knife. Yes. Oh, and Teresa, speaking of replays, I talked about 2 things at the beginning. One, I have a Father's Day card. I'll show that again. But I made it the other day. It's already online. I've already posted it. And that was fun. I really enjoyed putting that together. I have a hard time with masculine cards, but it was really easy. It's just a stencil, really. Waffle flower, in case you're interested. And then I have a video with a giveaway from Altenew, and that is that's going to end on Wednesday, I think at midnight. So if you want to check that out, the link is all down in the description. So I just wanted to mention all that before Wednesday when the giveaway ends. They are doing 2 $15 gift cards to their to their store. And they always have fun goodies. They have a sale every week on different things. So usually I shop their sale, and that's actually how I've spent 2 years getting all my alcohol markers. So I would just shop their sale, and every week they'd put one of them on sale, and that was the one I got. Okay, I think this side doesn't look like it has any extra. Okay, so then this right here, oh, I got a little piece there. This is the front, and now it's protected. And this will be the back, and I've already got all of these. So now I'm gonna show you how this really fun little gadget works. These are about 4 inches in width. So I'm gonna take this little guide and I'm gonna put it in this first slot right here. It's ABC, it depends on like what your paper ends with, a whole or a 1/2 inch versus like a 1/4 inch paper. And then you just put it in and punch it down. And then this is that chipboard. So this is really thick, right? So we're gonna stick this in there. And, whew. All right. I just dropped my little craft knife thing, but it did it. So there's that. Normally I do them a little separate, but that's okay. I only have to do 2 more little punches. So this is thicker craft board than I usually do. And then to get this to go all the way to the end, there's a little, like a little key, I call it a key over here, and it slides down into this little square hole. It is literally a square peg and a square hole. So I'm gonna take this second hole right here, not the one on the very end, but the second one, and I'm gonna line it up with that little hole and then push that key down in there, just like that. And what it does is it holds it in place and it helps line it up so that you can then do a continuous punch. And I've used this tiny one. I've made full size planners. Last year I made Harry Potter themed planners. Okay, this one's gonna be loud again. Actually, that was better than the last time. Go figure. Okay, so these are all ready to go. Isn't that fun? I could literally make 100 of these all day. So I've got my papers already punched. I've got my cover and I've got my back, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this little wire. This is a 2 to 1, so it's 2 loops for every 1 inch. That's what that means. It's a 2 to 1 wire, binding wire, and it's got like a big side and then it's got a skinny side. Okay, so we're gonna put the bigger side here on this edge because it's gonna hold that like a little cradle, okay? And then I'm gonna feed like it's a puppy. I'm gonna feed all of this in here. That went on really well. And I need to grab my clippers. I thought I'd already pulled those out, but I did not. Okay. I think those are the right ones. Okay, so I've got that on there. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your front and your back, the right sides that look pretty, and you're gonna put the pretty sides together. Okay, so the pretty faces are gonna kiss each other. But I'm gonna put this down, this is the front, and then this is the back, and it's gonna go like this, And then when we're done, it'll flip over and it will hide all of this binding. So I'm gonna pull this off. And I actually don't need, well, okay, I'll go ahead and snip this piece here. And if you ever wanted to make a tiny one, like a little loop of color swatches, so I have some color swatches here, but you could always do any kind of little thing. You could turn these into all kinds of stuff. Back here on the back, there's a rubber seat. We're gonna place it down here on the rubber seat, and then this is gonna have the upper rubber seat, and we're gonna cinch it down, and it's gonna close it for us. So basically, it's a personal binding machine. So fun. Okay, so we got that. And I think that's good, actually. Okay, and it's all in there. And then I'm just going to press down. And I like it kind of tight, but I do need to do the ends. There we go, there's one. So it's just a little bit long for the seat. Okay, and then this, see the binding wires, right? And you can bend them if you need to. I'm going to cut off these ends here in a second, but when you take this, okay, and then it hides that. So now you have just the pretty side of the wire that shows up. These are amazing. I love these. But I do need to cut down this little wire piece here. There's that side. And there's that side. There we go. And the wire is pretty malleable, like you can futz with it and get it to do what you want to do after you've cinched it. Okay, but this is part of his Father's Day, and now he's got a little pad for his research of his cards and any of his other baseball, football, hockey stuff. Like, he just loves all the sports. He's all about it. But isn't this machine is awesome. I got it at Micheals. I did get it, I don't know if it was on sale, but I get a teacher discount of 15% period, but I think it was on sale, or I had some kind of coupon. No, I had a voucher. You know, when you spend so much money at Micheals and then they give you like Micheals dollars so that you can go back and spend more money. Okay, so I had a voucher and I used it on that. That's how I got this. I really want the big one. That's what I really want, is the ginormous one. But this little one, it does a whole lot of stuff. It's just so good. Okay. We are, I think we're down to like the last project, I think. I'll double check here in a second. But when we were at Target and we were buying those books, right, it was kind of near all this stuff. So my daughter saw this. It says, "From your favorite child." So this is for her to use with that mug that I was talking about, the clear beer mug that says it's not a dad bod, it's a father figure. So she's going to use this, but it got me to thinking, one of my favorite Cricut crafts is to take plain colored gift bags and put stuff on it. And then it's just so much more, it's so much more personable. You can do, I've done monograms, I've done all kinds of stuff. So they're basically the same. I just found this in Cricut Design Space. I put a shape behind it that looks like this, like a tag, notch tag. And then I flattened it for a sticker. So this is just print and cut. This is just glossy sticker paper. And then this one is for my husband because his things are kind of tiny and he's already got the one bag. But essentially this line right here, I'm going to use that as my line to line this up. And I'm going to stick it right there in the middle. And now it's cute. See, you took an ugly brown bag and you turned it into something cute. It's like the big brown box that I have in my classroom that kids put their cell phones in on test day. It literally says on the side, I took a Sharpie and I put big brown box. And then they know the big brown box is our cell phone. They call it the cell phone hotel for the day when we have tests. And they're actually really good about putting their phones in there, and they're not always on silent, but at least they're in the box. It's definitely been very helpful with testing this year. Okay, so let's talk about some stuff. So you can always go buy Father's Day, or you can always go buy these, right? But what I do like to do is at the Dollar Tree, I'll go buy packs, the 3-packs. They have them in different sizes. They even have the tiny ones, like 3 for $1. And I go get those. And then I get them in different colors and I customize them, especially at Christmas. I have lots of patterned vinyl, and it's great for patterned vinyl because it's just a solid background and you can put like an ornament with somebody's initial cut out of it or something. It is a super fun way to use your Cricut. So let me grab these. And then that way we can show Teresa what we made. And then I can see if I made everything. Okay. Let's see. I don't know where I put them. Oh, I found them. Okay, so Teresa, this is what you missed. I just talked real quick about this video that I put out the other day. I made these cards. So this is a stencil and die from waffle flour, but you could do something like this, you know, using your Cricut, or you could even use those special kind of, you could use pinking shears like from the sewing room. The holes would be a problem unless you used your Cricut, but you could put all kinds of stuff in these little squares. You could use a ruler to section them off. You could have your Cricut draw them, whatever. But I did use the die because I have it and I like playing with it. And then I used the stencil, and I just think it is so fun. So that's what this one looks like. These are 3-dimensional right here. This was my first one. This looks like the blue leather recliner in my living room. So this one's for my husband. And then this one, this looks like the brown leather recliner that my dad has. Like almost exactly, it's kind of crazy. But this is the one I made for my dad. So it's the first one I did. So I made this cattywampus, and these aren't popped up as much. The colors are similar. They're not exactly alike, but they are similar. And then on the inside, I took a stencil that I have from Altenew. It's one of my most favorite ones. And I just started in the bottom corner and I used the background. This is salvage patina. And I just did a fade. And that way there's something on the inside. I like doing stuff on the inside, but there we go. So we made that, or I made that the other day and I talked about it. And then again, I talked about this little giveaway that's going to end on Wednesday, and I had made these in that video. So I love all the Nordic graphics. Oop, didn't turn that off. There we go. I love all the Nordic style graphics, and you know, very Swedish design, and not like super clean IKEA furniture design, but just their decor. It's very clean and simple and rustic, and I love it. Oh, we made these. So these are blank canvases that I got at Micheals. You can get them at Micheals or Hobby Lobby. They're just little flat canvases. And what I did is I cut down some of my adhesive magnetic sheet, and I'm gonna put it on the back like I did these right here. And then this is printable iron-on vinyl. So not just printable vinyl, but you can actually iron it on. It doesn't have any stick to it until you iron it. And I just made 2 copies of everything. So I did one of the Utah Mammoths and one of the Houston Astros. I still need to do these 2, but I'll do that in a bit. That'll be part of his little gift, and he doesn't know about those. I'm very excited about that. Then I had these 3 books from Target. So one said Fixer or Knower of Things, Fixer of Stuff, or Knower of Stuff, Fixer of Things. The other just had, it was pre-printed, plans, possibilities, etc. or something. And then I put his little initial on it, or monogram. And then this one is an idea that I got off of Etsy. It says the ideas of a legendary woodworker, and it has his name and some woodworking tools. So I did that at the beginning. The magnets you just saw and this, we were doing while my camera was charging, but I don't know why even it died. But I did this. These are aluminum sheets from Cricut. I don't even know if they sell them anymore, but I'm tempted to go and find out if they do and just buy a ton of these. They were, you put your mirrored image down, or you can do infusible ink, and I just used my heat press, the big one, and pressed it for about 40 seconds at 385, and this is what I was able to create. And I saw this on the internet, so I just said, oh, I can make that, and I did. I made these in Canva. I'll put a link to the moon phases calendar. It's linked to, they pull their data from like some government, like not NASA, but like, you know, the weather, the super NOAA, the climate people. Anyway, whoever it is, the official people of the weather, and not the Weather Channel, but anyway, I pulled it from there and I put them on. I added our names, I added the sentiment, and everything I just did everything in Canva. So these frames I got at Target. I love these. And it was buy one, get one half off. At least, I don't know how long that sale is going on, but that's what's going on in my area as of yesterday. And then, so we did that. So the cards, all of these things. Oh, and then you were here for this little binding machine thing. I'm excited about this. Like, usually I use pattern paper and stuff, but I'm glad I thought of the holographic overlay. Like, that opens up a lot of possibilities. You could put whatever you want and then make it waterproof. So this is for him, my husband, and then these just regular glossy sticker vinyl to go on these to put them together. But that is my Father's Day lineup, guys. I really hope that you guys like that. Let me switch over to me only. Hey, there's me only. Look at me getting good with my software. Sometimes it's helpful to just play with your software. But yeah, I did not know what to do for Father's Day, and I just started thinking about some things I wanted to do. I search Pinterest high and low, but I always struggle with that because I never put in the right prompts to get really what I want from Pinterest. But these came out so good, and I'm glad. I've got a little bit of something to give to each of the guys, you know, my dad and my husband, and I've got a card for them, and we are set. My next videos that I have for Cricut coming out is some like summer, like 4th of July kind of stuff that I have. I already got it prepped and ready to go. And then I've got some random summer things, like the girls wanted me to make them matching shirts. And then I have some other things that I want to label and do kinds of fun stuff with. So I've got a couple of Cricut crafting videos that are coming in the lineup, and a live is definitely easier and doesn't require any editing and can get it out, but I will try and get those out soon, probably within the next week. Well, I need to do the 4th of July one pretty quick, right? Because that's coming up. And yeah. So you'll have to, seriously, you'll have to go to Canva and try that. Now, disclaimer, I do have Canva Pro being a teacher, so I do have that. But if you're savvy with other software, you could always use other software. I just use Canva because it's convenient, and I have the Pro account being a teacher. And yeah, this really just kind of just randomness just came together, and I think it all works. One is very woodworker oriented, one is very sports oriented. So I'm so pleased because the Father's Day is so hard for me to do. I'm good with girls, moms, sisters, friends. I've got all that in the bag and then some, but guys I struggle with. So I'm glad I was able to do some masculine things. But anyway, well, it is 2:11 or 14:11 here where I'm at, and we are going to be, well, not dinner, I guess an early dinner and a movie here in a little bit. So I will probably go live again after 4th of July. What do you guys think? I think, once a month is pretty good. It gives me time to get things prepped and stuff, and my schedule. I hope that still works with all of you guys, but I'll still have random crafts and cards and all that coming out as well. But if there's anything you ever want to see, just drop me a note and say, hey, Jen, make something about this. And I'm happy to do that, because I had one lady that had asked me for a video that I still need to make. So I have that tutorial coming too. And that was for notepads where you do the tear off and you don't have the binding, because not everybody has a mini cinch. So what do you do if you don't have a mini cinch and you want to make a little notepad like that? I got that too. So all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and head out. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like the live. That really helps push that out. I appreciate all you guys chatting and commenting. I'm really just more appreciative that you are all here, because it's so fun to talk to people live instead of myself when I'm doing a regular video. But I hope that you guys have a great week ahead. We have a busy one, but I'll be around in the messages if you need anything. And don't forget to check out the video for the giveaway. And I think that's all I have for you. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.